Hey, it's Kevin DeWitt here. Welcome to another plugin knowledge session. In this session, we're going to sort of continue on with our finalizer tutorials from TC Electronic, but we're going to actually talk about their free online product called Analyzer. So first off, if you're new to my channel, new to my videos, if you like what you see, click the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell to be notified of all of my future videos as they come out. So Analyzer by TC Electronics, it's sort of a complementary product, if you want to call it that, that's supposed to go with their mastering tool they just released called Finalizer. If you haven't seen the videos of that, go and check out. I've got 2 videos already on those 2 actual products. Now, Analyzer itself, the product that we're talking about here, was sort of promoted as a free tool that anybody can get, and you can get it. There's nothing stopping you. It is free, but it is supposed to complement Finalizer as well. And I imagine there's some buttons and some uploading processes in Finalizer that will utilize this tool. Now, I didn't actually try this tool yet through the Finalizer product. I did this independently on its own, and I may in the future go and actually try and do a proper mastering session in Finalizer and test that feature out and see what happens. So from what I can gather, and as I recorded the video for this, I had never touched it before, so I was learning it at the time of showing it, and it is just basically an online tool. Okay, so when I say it's a tool, you don't download anything, there's nothing to get. It is an online website that you can basically upload your songs to, and then it will analyze it and give you some details about your song, the dynamic range, how loud it is, and you can compare it to some other songs of your own, or you can compare it to some songs that they have in the Analyzer tool on the website. Now, when I say analyze, I don't mean like, say, a proper referencing tool, like the A/B reference or anything like that. You can't listen to the audio. You are basically seeing just graphs and dots on the screen showing you a comparison of, say, your song against one of the top 40 chart songs that's out right now. Whatever it is, you get a choice of selection there. All right, so let's just get into it. I'll show you the interface. We'll try it out, and then I will give you some opinions and details at the end of the video of my experience with it. But let's run through it now, and you can see for yourself. Okay, so the analyze part of Finalizer, which can be a free tool, but is also a complement to the Finalizer product itself, where you can upload your tracks to do some checking. Now, if you use it as a free tool, regardless, either way, you need to log in and you need to create an account, right? So basically, that's what you do. I did that, and you go to this page if you aren't doing it manually through the program, and you get presented with this view here. So you get some options. You've got a little box here, so you can hide this graph here and just show here, or you can go here. Now you have some options here of reference tracks, of reference tracks lists here. So, there's all these little clip boxes, tell you everything you need to know about it. It's all fine. So you might pick your genre here, or you could pick some very popular songs, wherever you think you fit in, or you want to compare to some streaming services. So I'll flick through that in a minute, and then you can have a B track as well. This is where all our audio comes in here. So we can upload a song. So we upload a song. This is obviously a mastered song, so we wait for it to load and could connect to server. Excellent. It's a good start. Let's pick something a bit smaller. Let's try 16-bit. And we're preparing analysis. Okay, so it's taking a bit of time here. This is a 16-bit WAV file, so it is quite big. So how fast this gets uploaded and analyzed may be different depending on when you do it and where you're doing it from. You may have better internet, you may get a better performance, but we've got a track up now and it's still analyzing. It's got 100% up though. Okay, so our song has been analyzed and now we have some details on the screen showing us here. So obviously we've got our track, we've got our name. It's telling us what our loudness LUFS is, -9.4. Our true peak is -0.5 and our compression rate is 14.3. Got our track length, the track length, our encoding, and channels bit rate. So we have a radar here, which is our short-term loudness. So it sort of gives you an indication. It's not quite an average, but it's not quite peak either. So it's fairly dynamic, but it shows you the extent of the song, how long it is, and where the loud and quiet parts are. So you can sort of see there's a quiet part on the intro, then it gets louder, tiny little bit lower there, but it stays pretty loud most of the song until the end. Over here, we're showing our, as they call, compressor meter, which is sort of showing our dynamic range, how dynamic our song is, how loud, so loudness compared to our dynamic compression. And then we have an average of our frequency spectrum shape across here. And as I said, we can hide that if we don't want to see it, or we can leave it there. And then in theory, we should be able to switch over to other tracks. Now, we can load our own track, but we can also pick something from the B track here. So I'm saying this is my A track, and then my B track is, you can pick anything from this range here. So let's say I want to compare to Born in the USA. And I'm going to actually pick Born in the USA instead of any of these other songs. But you can see an example of where they're sitting in the scheme of things, and we can then compare, and we can see that all these other numbers keep coming up, which is really distracting. But you can see that if I click on the A track, which is mine, it sort of shows what my stuff is doing, right? We don't see it for the radar, but we do see it for the compression. So my track is a little bit louder and my frequency range is quite different. We switch over to B, obviously puts the focus on Born in the USA. But we might say that, okay, well, that's not really the song I want. And we could pick something entirely different. You could say, I want to be Bohemian Rhapsody. And it's listing. Okay, so we could go with that one there. And again, they are lower. Very flat sort of graph there. All these other ones keep coming up, which is really annoying because every time I move the cursor over here, it shows all of these other tracks, which I don't really want to see. Now we can also compare to, say, what YouTube stuff on YouTube is doing. So if you want to say, I want to compare to blurred lines, you can see it's got very little dynamic, or the dynamic range is lower and it's louder than mine. So I've got a lot more dynamic range in my song. They have an extremely lot more low end and a lot more top end. Okay, so one glaringly obvious thing wrong with this right now, and they must have picked their market. The closest thing to my music here is rock. I would have liked some metal options or something like that. I think they need to add a few more genres in here because really, I'm getting choices of comparing to Queen. So the limitations of what you can compare to are just a bit too limited for me. The musical genres are that. So I think they need to add a few more things in here because I just feel that you're gonna get, I mean, yeah, okay, you've covered country, fantastic. Got a bit of orchestra, R&B, dance, rock, pop. To me, you're obviously missing one major category, which is heavy metal or whatever it's called. Some genres like that, hard rock, some on the heavier side, because, even if you go genre comparison, they're exactly the same genres. There's just nothing there. So, we can get fairly close with rock, but it's just not exactly right. I'm going to go back to here. So I'm gonna start afresh. I'm going to take that track off. I'm going to try this again. Okay, now, first off, I'm going to do an MP3. Let's see what happens if I drag in an MP3. Okay, so we've got 100% up now. And now we're waiting for it to analyze. Okay, so I'm leaving this MP3 analysis in real time. It's going to make for an extremely boring video, but I just want to show you how extremely boring it is for me right now, sitting here waiting to analyze my song. This is going to sound really harsh, but there is no way that I would be using this analyzer at these speeds. It's just painful, and I'm sorry, but they need to speed this up or I will not be using this whatsoever. For what you get out of the values, I just don't see the point. I've got reference plugins in my software that I can use to do this a lot faster. Yeah, okay, maybe I don't have their tools, I don't have their online uh, songs, but most people have songs that they like that they can get and they can put into a reference plugin and compare the results. I have nothing against tools like this. They're great features if you want to compare your songs online and you want to do some detailed stuff without having to buy software. But if this is the price you've got to pay, every time you want to put a song up, you better go and find something else to do because you won't want to sit here staring at this waiting for the results. Now, I'm not sure if this is because this is a brand new product and maybe they've got a massive influx of people trialing the software out because they just released it and their servers are being hit hard, or they're doing changes in the background because they're finding lots of bugs and they're trying to fix them and it's running slow, or they really cheaped out on their website services and uh, it's just not working right, or the programmers just did a really bad job of running the program. I don't know. I'm not a programmer, so I'm not going to claim that, they've done anything or done it wrong. There's many factors to why this could be the way it is. And all I can say is that I hope that it improves soon because this is not good at all. And the problem is, there's no real indication on here what it's doing. It just says analyzing. I don't know if it's broken. It could be broken for all I know. How long do I keep waiting before I just go, that's enough? I've had it. It's broken. Will it fix itself? I mean, is it still thinking? Or has it crashed? I don't know. It looks like it's working, but, I can still move the cursor. I can click on information, but it's still analyzing. Let me know in the comments if you had the same problems. Have you tried this? I'd love to hear your feedback on this because is it specific to me? Is it because I'm in Australia? They've just decided that they're going to give us really horrible service? Or, as I said, are they struggling under the load of everybody trialing this software, or are they doing work on it and just assume that no one would be using it at this time? Or is it being hit hard because lots of people are using it at this time and they're trialing the software and they're testing everything out and they're seeing what it can do? I don't know, but I'm sort of at the point where I'm going to assume that this is broken and it's not working right now because I don't know how long to wait for it to analyze before you assume that, okay, it's clearly not working. I really don't know. All right, let's try and add another track. I don't know. We'll just do something. I'm going to try a 24-bit one. I'm going to pick a different song this time. Oh, when it's in a queue. Oh, that's good. So I can't remove this song because it's analyzing it. I can't add another song. Well, I can, but it's in a queue. There is nothing I can do. Except for reset the page, which I'm going to do because I'm giving up. Okay, so I reset the page because that was really annoying. And let's just go and try a 24-bit file. Now, this is going to take... Okay. Now, this is twice this has happened. Could not connect to the server. It doesn't like 24-bit files. Just try it again to prove a point. One more time. Yeah. So it does not like 24-bit WAV files. It crashes every time I try to load one. Okay. So let's try a 16-bit WAV file. Now, and that might be perfectly... Okay. Could not connect to the server. I think they've got some serious problems here. Yeah, okay. All right, I'm going to give up, guys. I'm not impressed. It's not usable. It's too buggy and too slow, and there's something seriously wrong with this. So I'm going to give up because, for one, it's not something I'm going to use. So there you go. There is Analyzer by TC Electronics. As you can probably tell from the video, I don't know if I had really bad luck. I don't know if timing was bad. I don't know if they've improved it now. I think I will be doing a follow-up video at some point with a real mastering session, trying it out again, giving them a second chance, because it could just be release period bugs. They just didn't factor for the demand on it. But basically, to me, the website was unusable. It crashed so many times. And let me just state this. Okay, what you see in the video is a very edited video. Some of it I show you live, but there's a lot that I did cut out that I thought I did wrong. There was lots of times I thought I made mistakes. Turned out it wasn't. The site just kept crashing. At one stage, the entire website went down for half an hour. Had to come back and do it more. At the state of when I recorded this video, there is no way that I would be using this tool. I have much better referencing plugins that give me just as much detail, if not more, and lets me actually listen to the audio to compare the two and do proper evaluations of them in plugins that are on my computer that do not rely on the internet. You know, the advantage of using their online tool is you don't need to own any software. You don't need to do anything. You just upload the song and it supposedly compares it. That's great. You don't even need to own the top 40 chart songs or anything like that. But let's be realistic. Most people have access to the songs they like. So I don't think you're saving any money in that regards of being able to compare to a song that you don't own, because most people own the songs they want. And if they don't, they can just pull up Spotify and listen to it, you know, or iTunes Music, whatever your flavor is. Now, I am based in Australia, so I have to take into account that potentially my upload speeds can be a bit slower than most people. You know, in Australia, we do not get the throughput that people in the USA get and things like that. But still, we don't get, you know, I mean, some of the uploads I was doing, I could have been doing it faster with a dial-up modem from 1980. But, you know, but even when the song was fully uploaded, the fact that it said 100%, it was up on there, and it just sat there analyzing and analyzing forever and ever and ever, was just, you could never tell whether whether the website was working, broken, whether you were supposed to be just keep waiting, or, as I said, whether it just stopped and crashed. It was just impossible to use, and it was not fun. There was no point to it. The detail that you got out of the graphs, even after you waited for those long periods of times, it's okay. Was it really worth the time? I don't think so. It didn't really give me much that I couldn't have gathered myself from other methods, as I said, with referencing tools or just using my ears. You know, and as I stated in the video, there needs to be a bit more additions to it as well. The fact that, you know, for someone like me or you, depending on your style of music, there was no genre for any metal songs, no hard rock. There was rock, but we were talking rock as in Queen. You know, fine, they're great, but what's the point of me comparing that to something of mine if I've done, you know, a 1990s heavy metal song or something like that? That's going to be of no use to me. So there needs to be some additions there. I think they've missed a few categories there and need to build that up a lot, because it just seemed to be quite a lot missing. But as I stated, it's early days, so maybe this is something that I need to come back to and try again. But as I said, at this stage, the way it was, I would not be using it. I don't even, you know, I'm not even tempted to want to go back and waste my time trying it. But, you know, in the spirit of giving TC Electronic the chance, maybe I will. You know, TC Electronics are a great company with pretty much every other product they make. So why this one was no good, I don't know. But let me know in the comments if you've tried it out. Did you have the same experience, or did you have a better experience? You know, was it all great for you? Did it work perfectly? I'd love to hear that, because maybe it was just me. You know, love to hear what other people's experiences are. And even if you did have a good experience, what did you actually think of the analyzer tool? Did it tell you useful information? Do you think this is something that's going to be handy going forward? Or do you think there's better tools out there? All right, so I think that's enough ranting for me. I'm not really particularly fond of giving bad reviews of products, but I am going to call something for what it is. If I don't think it's good, I'm going to say it's not good. And in this case, it wasn't, but that's enough about that. If you liked the video, click the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell to be notified of all my future videos. Your support is very much appreciated. It keeps me excited, keeps me going with all this new content. I can't say that enough. I really do appreciate the support that everybody gives me. So, you know, any support that you can give me is most greatly appreciated. Hopefully you got something out of this, even if it is negative. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.